So I'm going to try to get this recorded one more time. I don't know what's going on tonight. I don't know if I just can't talk or what. But this is about my fourth attempt at doing this. I had to wait a little bit because I don't know what was going on my roof. Something was fighting up there. I don't know what it was, and don't really want to know what it was. But we're going to try this again. So tonight I'm going to talk a little bit about who is Ed Rust, which of course this whole thing is leading into could Ed Rust be Zodiac, which it certainly seems like he is. There's even kind of a DNA connection in there, which I'll talk a little bit about later on. So Ed Rust was a police lieutenant for the Vallejo Police Department from November of 1963, and he retired in December of 1980. Now, think about the time of when he retired. He retired in 1980. The Zodiac letter stopped a year earlier in 1979. So that's kind of a little bit of a coincidence there. I'm thinking maybe when he retired, he figured he didn't have the protection of the police department anymore, so he kind of got nervous and stopped sending letters. Could very well possibly be that. I don't know. But Ed Rust was the first responding officer to the Blue Rock Springs attack, which was the second attack from the Zodiac. A couple years ago on TV, there was a show called, I believe it was called Hunt for the Zodiac. Ed Rust appeared on that show where one or two retired homicide detectives visited his home, and Ed Rust pulls out this box from his room and pulls out a Sierra Club card. The Sierra Club card is something that only the Zodiac would have knowledge of, and only the Zodiac would probably have that particular card in possession. When that card is put in transparent paper, it pulls out I believe the second part of kind of decoding the cipher, because of course we know that the Zodiac, that was kind of his thing, was he sent in these coded and ciphered messages that of course to this day supposedly is completely unsolved, and nobody's been able to kind of crack the cipher. But that's exactly what we're getting into here, is cracking the cipher. The thing with the Sierra Club card is that it has the number 12 on it. Now, the significance of the number 12 is Ed Rust signed the 12th page of the Blue Rock Springs attack police report. He initialed it. And when you go back and you look at these ciphers and letters that are kind of in the ciphers, like the way he wrote his E's and his R and his initial, the E and the R and his in his police reports really matches to what the ciphers shows. I'm really hoping when I go back and edit this video, I'm able to pop pictures in here, because none of this really makes sense unless you really look at the pictures, because even when I was reading this stuff, it just didn't make sense to me. But when you see the pictures and you see how it matches up and just the way he signed his stuff, it matches perfectly. If I can't add pictures in, then probably what I'll do is kind of make like a little slideshow video and pop it on here. Either way, though, it's something that you guys need to look at. As far as the DNA goes, and it blows my mind that they didn't get this guy right then and there. I think the reason why, honestly, is I think we have kind of the same situation we have with D'Angelo, the Golden State Killer, where this guy was a police officer, and it certainly seems like police knew what was going on and knew his actions and knew that he was doing this. And again, as I've talked about before, there's kind of this police code of silence, and I really feel like that's what was going on here. And that's kind of partially part of the reason why I think none of this, I hope this goes somewhere. There's even a park involved, this Baldwin Park, where initials were carved into a tree that it seems like that's from the Zodiac. And I think if police were to dig up this park, they're going to find a hell of a lot of evidence leading back to the Zodiac. But at this point, I don't think they're going to, because, of course, if they did and this all starts coming out, then this huge cover-up of the Vallejo Police Department is going to come out. You know, Ed Rust is in jeopardy, and I think a lot of the careers of a lot of police officers and detectives is in jeopardy. But I'm really hoping that, you know, at some point somebody comes to their senses and kind of digs up this park, because Baldwin Park really ties into all this as well. So there's another guy that, going back to the DNA, Ed Rust, his DNA was found underneath a stamp of a letter that was from the Zodiac that was mailed into the San Francisco Chronicle. His DNA was matched up because he was actually a pallbearer at the funeral of Sherry Jo Bates. And Sherry Jo Bates was not, she's not a confirmed Zodiac victim, but she's a suspected Zodiac victim. She died on, looking at my notes here just to see if on December 30th of 1966, she was stabbed, and as far as from what I've read online, she was like nearly decapitated. There were similarities between the attack that killed her and I believe the third attack from the Zodiac. There was a tip kind of sent in where somebody had pointed out the similarities to these two attacks. I don't know if any connection that Ed Rust had to Sherry Jo Bates, why he was a pallbearer at her funeral. In a way, it kind of feels like maybe she is a Zodiac victim, and this was just his way of horribly laughing in the faces of everybody and just, you know, kind of saying, you know, I killed her and here I am playing a part in her funeral. His DNA was obviously found at the funeral as well, and then I guess it matched up with the DNA that was found underneath the stamp of one of the letters that was sent in. Another officer that ties into this and the way I'm looking at it is maybe he was Ed Rust's partner in all this. His name's Dennis Highland. Dennis Highland's initials actually come up a little bit in the ciphers. Ed Rust, there was the initials R and then the initial H for Highland. But when you start looking into it, it seems like these guys kind of played off each other and kind of helped each other and maybe were covering for each other. So Dennis Highland, definitely, I'm going to look into him a little bit more. But it definitely seems like he also plays a role in this. I'm just kind of looking at my map or my notes here. Let's see. The initials that were used in one of the chronicles apparently was R and H. R being for Rust and H, it seems like it's for Highland. Like I said, I'm hoping that I can get pictures up here because just all of this makes so much more sense when you start digging into and you start actually looking at the pictures and things that were put, just the signatures and everything like that. So I'm really hoping that I'm able to get that up here. I'm just looking at I promise you guys next time I'll be a little bit more organized with my notes. I try to kind of like keep all this stuff in my head, and then when I get out here to try to record, it just goes away. But yeah, that's kind of all I wanted to talk about in this video. Is just kind of talking about and revealing who Ed Rust is, and the connections that he has to these cases. I believe Ed Rust, I don't know, I haven't been able to find exact like statistics or information on him, but at one point he described the Zodiac as being probably no taller than like 5'8". I guess he was able to know, I would assume he's able to know this because he's Zodiac and knows how tall he is. But he explained that, you know, Zodiac is like 5'8" just from trajectory of gunshots. But like I said, he retired in 1980. These letters stopped in 1979. So to me right there, that's very revealing. Going back into this Baldwin Park, there was things found in this park at one point. Just, again, from the initials on the tree. There was a picture of the park, the kind of the sign when you go into the park, and when you go into parks or something like that, there's kind of usually a sign of the name of the park. The name of the park, I believe, was actually included in one of the ciphered messages, or was part of a picture that was sent in. So that Baldwin Park just really seems to play a part in all this, and so does, I believe it's called Mount Diablo Park. Because the Times Herald, which was another newspaper in San Francisco, also they had gotten, I believe, a ciphered message that had something to do with Baldwin Park in it. All this has to do with ciphered messages, and it seems like Ed Rust knew how to kind of make these ciphered messages, and knew a way to do it where he would think nobody was going to crack it. But that's about all I have for this video. The next one I'm going to do, I think, is going to be talking a little bit more about the victims, because of course you guys all know that that's something that to me is very important, is talking about the victims and remembering them. But there's cases I've been kind of digging around, doing with help of kind of the person who gave me this information. There's also cases where it seems like Zodiac had confirmed 7 kills, but it certainly seems like there was cases possibly linked to the Zodiac that were not even covered in the media. So it's certainly starting to seem like that this is all just one big cover-up, and it kind of makes me a little bit nervous going into this, knowing that if I'm digging so far into this, that I'm kind of uncovering this cover-up. But I don't want to put myself in a situation where can't get myself out of it. But I'm out here and I'm searching for the truth, and I'm searching for justice, and if I had to put my ass in the line to get that, then I certainly will. It's not the first time I've put myself out there to find the truth. So I kind of doubt it's going to happen, but Ed Rust, if you ever see this, it's all going to fall down. It's all coming for you. So I am really honored and happy to be part of this, to be able to kind of pull out and unlock all these clues and maybe find out the truth at some point. So I'm just going to leave it at that for now. I will get this video. I'm hoping to be able to edit it. I'm still kind of playing around with some apps. But like I said, if I can't get those pictures up here, then I will end up just putting up a slideshow video of pictures, because like I said, this whole thing sounds like just a bunch of gibberish. Until you really look at the pictures and see really the way it was pointed out to me, it's just unbelievable that Ed Rust is still out there. And I was just one more thing. I was looking up right before I came out here to record. I was looking on Google because I was trying to figure out. I knew when he had retired from the police department, but I didn't know. I wasn't clear on when he started. This guy has like a wide open public Facebook page. I was going to add him, but I'm not going to do that. I have gotten myself in trouble on Facebook a few times. So you guys know how I am on a certain different case. But, well, I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, I will talk to you guys later. Next video is going to be on the victims. I was going to do a trivia question, but I can't think right now. I don't know. I really have no idea. Yeah. So anyways, I will talk to you guys later. I will try to be a little bit more organized on the next video. It's getting kind of late. I have to work in the morning. I have not even eaten yet. So when to get this recorded and up there. So I will talk to you guys later. I'm gonna go in, eat, start working on editing this video. So see you guys later.